The Canadian government has confirmed that the number of missing or murdered Indigenous women in the country may be higher than the previously cited 1,200. Ministers recently spoke to survivors across Canada to begin a government inquiry into the matter. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a key campaign pledge to address this. Canada's Minister for the Status of Women suggested on Tuesday the accurate number of missing and murdered women could be as high as 4,000. Patty Hajdu said the government did not have an accurate figure, but she indicated there was research from the Native Women's Association of Canada, NWAC, that said there were about 4,000. The often-cited 1,200 figure came from a 2014 Royal Canadian Mounted Police report on the missing women, related to the period between 1980 and 2012. During those discussions, the ministers have heard from participants that they believe the number of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls is higher than 1,200, said Indigenous Affairs Minister Caroline Bennett. In December 2015, Canadian authorities charged a man in the death of one Indigenous girl whose murder caused a national outcry. Raymond Cormier, 53, was charged with second-degree murder in the death of Tina Fontaine, 15, who was found dead in 2014 in Canada's Red River. A BBC investigation in April revealed that dozens of Aboriginal women disappear each year, with many later found dead in the river. Mr. Trudeau had promised an inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women in an appeal to First Nations chiefs. The public inquiry will be a top priority of his newly elected Liberal government, he said. Mr. Trudeau has also promised increased funding for programming and a review of laws on Indigenous peoples. Minister of Justice Jody Wilson-Raybould, Minister of Status of Women Patricia Hajdu and Ms. Bennett conducted interviews with nearly 2,000 people to start forming the government inquiry, survivors, families and loved ones of survivors. The ministers aim for the inquiry to examine the causes of violence against Indigenous women and girls and leads to recommendations for concrete actions to prevent future violence, said Ms. Bennett. Regardless of the number, the level of Indigenous women and girls